back with another one. This is Taisha Carvel here with Healthy Minds Therapeutic Services, and we are talking about the return to duty process. And guess what step we're on, guys? We are on step 5. So in step 5, and as I said in previous videos, I am looking actually on the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration's portal to be able to go step by step by step. Although we know the steps here and we run them down, it's good to just kind of watch the flow as well so that you'll know where you are. We know where you are, of course, we have to. And also that as I'm explaining this, I'm just following along step by step. Although I know it by head, I still want to make sure that you're following along with every step that they tell you here at the, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. So with that being said, we are on step 5. So step 5 is the green light. The driver is no longer prohibited from performing safety sensitive functions once you have a negative return to duty test result. So what happens is that when you come in step 1 all the way through, step 4, we're doing a drug test. It's a one-time test. But if you need to be tested again, when you're in, if you have been sent to an outpatient facility, you will be tested ongoing. If you have failed your substance abuse test when you initially came in, you will be tested periodically. This is number 1. Sometimes people are taking medications and things like that. We need to make sure that the medications that you're taking are the ones that you say you're taking. Number 2, to see if the substance that you did take that had nothing to do with the medication, if the substance that you did take is actually coming out of your system. So let's just take marijuana, for example. Although marijuana is legal here in the state of Florida, you cannot smoke marijuana while driving your vehicle for the Department of Transportation. That is a no-no. You have to think about the people that are around you, so although it is legal, it is best that you're not doing this while you're driving, while you're on the job, and to not have it in your system at all because you're working with the public. We want to make sure that the public is safe. That is pretty much the basis of my job, is to make sure that if we are clearing you, that you are safe to operate a vehicle while you are around the public. Okay? So with that being said, the return to duty test, as long as it's negative, you actually can begin to go back to work. Now, it is up to your employer to say, yes, we'll accept this person back. Now, sometimes we do have people where they've gotten fired from their job. So what happens now? That person is now their own owner operator. They are their own employer at this point. And you still have to complete this process because you want to keep your CDL, right? And you want to be able to at least drive, whether it's going to be for yourself or whether it's going to be for someone else. This process still needs to be done unless you're ready to relinquish your CDL license indefinitely. So this process still has to take place. Every employer who employs someone that is driving for the Department of Transportation has to come through this portal to see if your CDL license is still active. Well, that's through the DMV, but they have to make sure that there are no violations on your record. Any new job that you get, they will do a drug test to see if your urine samples are clean. If they aren't, that medical review officer actually reports to the clearinghouse. They report any evaluation. But let's say you are clean and you're clear to go. The return to duty test, it came back negative, right? So once it comes back negative, an employer that employs you during the prescribed period, you must complete the follow-up testing after as well, because there will be some follow-up testing that you have to do. For the Department of Transportation, the minimum is 6 tests for a 12-month period. So those are random tests. You will not know about those tests. That is going to be between your SAP and your employer. Okay? So the process is very simple. In my eyes, it's just really, don't do any substances, you'll be good to go, right? But sometimes that's not true for some people. You know, some things happen and here we are, you know, and it could be something simple. Maybe you went out with a friend and you had a drink and boom, here we are. You know, you got stopped and you've had to go through, you know, a process here. And these processes, it does take time. And some people say, oh, well, you know, it's a lot of money. It does take a lot of money to get you guys to where you need to be. I hope that I have explained enough of where you need to be and how you need to be there. But step 5, if you are negative, you are able to return to work. But it is up to your employer to say yes or to say no. So that being said, let's go into step 6. Let's see what happens. See you soon.